Welcome everyone to No More Room in Hell 2. This is your host, JA_007. Today, I'm going to be giving you a professional tutorial. It's all going to be done live here on stream. So any mishaps, missteps will be of course accounted for, but simply put, I'm going to be able to keep a solid stream of information and go at it at a, let's be real, a reasonable pace. Now, today we're going to be covering a couple of things, and I'm going to let you all know this is going to be off the cuff, but as with every good instruction, it's going to be off the cuff. I will be making a future video that's going to be diving further, edited, and more cleaner. But I figured to do something just to get the initial flow down and be able to help you out. So, in a nutshell, we're going to get used to the UI of this game, and we're going to go into a lot of nuances and unique aspects of it. Now, here is the major critical thing here, is that when you're getting into this game, it is very much different from the very first one, and has changed. I would say it's very accurate to a very obscure old game that is a classic vintage gem, that is Resident Evil Outbreak. If you do not know what that is, you can look it up, and if you do, then you might agree, or either this might be more up your alley. Now, onto the guide. Simply put, as we're greeted here at the main menu, we're going to be greeted with the initial starter area. On the bottom, very right, you're going to be set to deploy, and there's going to be squad only in public. If you're planning on playing with a friend, you're going to require your team to have 2 members in it to be able to start a private lobby. They're going to be able to control from there the difficulty and of course who you have. But here's the note, in a private lobby you're not going to be able to just have the random, well, simply put, randoms pop into your game. It's going to have to either just be you two or anyone else that you invite. So, well, simply put, the warning is declared. Now, you'll be able to control between three different difficulties: classic, hard, and nightmare. And how do you get these difficulties if you are not playing in squad only? Easy. You level up your character. Now, usually, as far as I've seen it, you can get a level 1 character into Nightmare. I've been there before, done that. And also, on top of that, well, it will scale with the current lobby. So if you're level 50, or either other people are level 50, you're likely going to get in that lobby. If you're around from level 10 and scaling up from pretty much there, so from level 1 to level 10, you're going to be in a situation from classic difficulty, a little bit higher. It's going to be around hard difficulty, and of course nightmare. But usually how the community treats it, it's all rarity. Because of the rarity of nightmare, it's rare to get it. Some people really look forward to it. As you can see, the number 3 on my username, as you can see here, and you can see on the very top right, that is the total number of successful nightmare extractions. And as you see with my username underneath it, there's a level 25, that is the account level, and I believe those are the ticket system, or as I would call it, the credits they use to spend. Now that we're into the UI, we're going to be diving into further aspects when we get into game, but we're going to dive into the other areas. Roadmap is going to be able to see the history of the game's development. I will actually mention I learned a lot from actually sitting down and seeing the development, since I'm so early on inside its, well, lifespan. But it was able to allow me to learn a lot of things. A really great huge thing that I can mention here is in December, Infection actually taught me, especially in their informational video, about how Infection works and how they updated it. Simply put, and I will re-elaborate this when we get in the field, having your health bar go from all the way from 100 to 50 is going to greatly or allow Infection to actually hit and take hold. So if you're above 50% health, you're likely not going to get infected. I'm not saying and ruling out that it's going to be the stop and end of it, but you're likely not going to really deal with infection. But once you pass that threshold of 50% and going to the lower stages, consider every hit might be the next step into the grave. So there's a lot of nuanced things that you'll learn from how they change the systems, and of course seeing where things are going. And of course the developers are always keeping top-notch responses to, of course, this community, so honestly I'm quite happy with it. And they're still updating the very first game, which is pretty wild to think about. I actually played it a little bit earlier today and it was refreshing. Touching back in Roots. Now we're going to be diving into the character section. So to keep it nice, clean, and simple, you're going to have 3 character slots, as you can see here on the bottom. When you first play the game, you're going to have a level 1 character, and they're going to have an option to roll 2 other characters. You're going to have 3 characters, State of Decay 2 style, and you're going to be given different roles. Now, what I mean by this is that your characters, when they get rolled, they're going to have an initial starting level 1 trait. It's always going to be a standard level 1 trait, so that of course means that it's not going to be a fancy expert version of it. So if you're planning on getting a version that's like expert inside the skill pool, which as you'll see in the skill pool, there's a long list of skills in here, and I mean a long list and its requirements from your account level to also having another skill that accompanies it to allow it to appear in the pool to be able to get there. So, for example, if I was someone who wanted the expert version of Limbo, I probably shouldn't have decided to pick this character that would start with that. Now, how do you exactly start with that? It's going to be right up here. When you are selecting these characters, you're going to be starting with a particular background. Consider it a career that they had prior before the outbreak. And from there, you're going to be able to pick your starting skill from that. It's not going to tell you directly, so you're going to have to do a little bit of research. And I'm going to be upfront, the research is not really there. You can find some Steam guides, but they're in another language, and it's very hard and very cryptic to read. So I decided to go out of my way to do my own testing, to test my own particular hypotheses, see how they, of course, change with statistics. But to keep the nice nitty-gritty, I actually made a document here on my channel in Discord, and I provided a clean, lovely spreadsheet here. I made a new channel for resources. So if you ever join in, you'll be able to see it here, or you can pause the screen in post, or even now while you're watching the stream, to see these different roles. I also made it easily downloadable, so of course if you want to be able to utilize that, you can. So, as you can see here, I made a simple note of the basic description. For example, the character I'm playing as has Coast Guard veteran, Limbo, survive longer when down. And as you can see, there's plenty of other roles. And, of course, certain particular roles can, of course, have other perks. Prepper is known to have a couple, but ones that I always put mainly of note are usually in here. There are people who have different theories on certain things and what have you, but this is kind of the nutshell that you need to know if you're going into the game. Consider it your cheat sheet if you're rolling characters. Now, there's some people who like playing the game with cheese. I usually like just rolling with the, with the hits and bruises. And that's not everyone's cup of tea. So if you ever go into a game and you're like, I got this roll of 3 characters and I don't like any of the careers, or I selected a character, thought I was going to get 1 perk, got another, I had a really bad roll, or either I'm just not liking the character's voice or whatever it may be, that is entirely your prerogative. What you can do, because of course I did a little bit of research, they actually added a backfill system, meaning if you start into a match, because of how this game works, if you instantly disconnect by hitting pause and hitting disconnect, that will actually allow you to end your character, but also allow your slot to be now taken by another player that is brand new, that will take your slot and be able to aid inside that fight, not dooming your particular party. So no going into the match and pulling out your weapon or your firearm and hitting the K button to splatter your friends with a early decease warning. So let's keep it at that. Now, how this game works with level and progression is a little bit interesting. It's a little weird, but I'm going to keep it nice and simple. It took me a long while, and I have not seen any guide that got into it. I've seen ultimate guides. I've seen other guides. No one's doing this, and I literally had to learn everything myself. And let me just tell you, I'm going to keep it simple and not confusing. So in the game, you're going to have different things here. As you can see here, Now, for some weird reason, there is a bug going into the game where it's not going to list the character's information. Like, for example, I've, with this character, have had many extractions, and it's only going to record some, or either it's going to reset it. That is a known thing. They will be fixing it. But to keep it simple and easy to explain, the major things you're going to be focusing on is extractions, gathering supplies, objectives done, and number of responders revived. Now, number of responders revived is just more so you saving someone's particular run, or giving them a second chance. Even if you're reviving the exact same person, it will count. I don't believe it ties anything with progression or points or anything like that, so it's merely for this particular screen. Now, for this screen, everything here will be reset if your character does die, meaning you'll be all the way to level 1, and that will be how it will be. Now, for experience, because this is the major bit, is that if you want to get a lot of account experience, which if you ever look into any information, you'll be able to see that particular skills are locked behind account level, and also buying weapons and equipment to carry into the field are also tied by it. Now, I'll go into the loadout menu soon, but for right now, for experience, extracting is indeed going to keep your character guaranteed, and even if they die, you know, they will get the account experience that they have accrued. What mainly gets you account experience, I've noticed, is by completing objectives, even in areas that do not require as a primary location you have to clear. Let's say, for example, in the map, you are told to clear out let's say a radio station, but you're at a ranger station. Let's say you hit both and you do both of the objectives. You actually can get a little bit of extra account experience. Not crazy much, but it's tangible if you want to aim for that. And that will also, when you do those missions, net you some lovely gear that you can then carry out later in the field. Now, the huge misconception is supplies. So supplies is more so for your entire crew. Now, supplies, you'll see a lot of players get very greedy and be like, oh, but these are my supplies, I've gathered them, and try beating each other ahead of it. You want to gather the supplies if you know you're going to be making it out, likely from experience. So if you have a friend who's more experienced or a higher level, meaning having more skills is likely going to make them survive a lot more, you may want to let them carry it. The reason why I say this is that in the field, what supplies is that it allows you to power level your characters. It means nothing if you are a level 50 character. It means nothing unless you are purely supplying those who are have-nots, aka people who are lower level with their personal characters. Account level and character levels is different. As mention, supplies is pulled together at the very end of an extraction. Let's say person A or character A gathers 5,000 supplies and character B gathers 10,000 supplies. Character B in the field decided to get ahead of character A and start grabbing all the loot, grabbing all the supplies, trying to get ahead, trying to block character A, thus making character A either go alone their own route or either feel kind of not exactly useful and feel like they're having to be followed or follow a person, which then, of course, makes them feel not exactly safe with that person, thus forcing that person to be around that person. How does that work? Simply put, if you can't necessarily trust that person to, be there in the moment, it's great to build rapport so that you're able to talk to them with voice chatting game, text chat, what have you, and be able like, hey, you need this, or I have that, and see if you're actually able to communicate and be able to go from there to see if it is wise to stick together or if it is not. Because there's some people who do that, where either they see experience or either they see someone perfectly fine on their own or completely knowing what they're doing, and it may get misconstrued of that. But let's say character B indeed does go around stealing all the stuff and trying to get ahead of what have you. Now, how it works is, let's say both of them extract. Now, at the end, their supplies will be pulled into the group pool of the survivors who have survived, and it will only be awarded to survivors who have extracted and survived, because if you get left behind, or either if you die, well, your character's dead. Those supplies will be null and void. There's no way to recover or pick them up, and that also means you're not going to be getting the benefits, and no one will ever get the benefits of that if you are dead. So take supplies, but when it is wise to. Don't die over them. But trust me, it is very nice to get those, especially if you're planning on leveling up. But as mentioned, if you are new, do not be afraid of death, and do not be afraid of losing awesome skills. Your account level will increase, and there will unlock expert version. For example, at level 28, account level 28, I will be unlocking Eagle Eye Expert, as you see in the very top right. So let's say I really like that perk. I'm not a fan of that perk personally, but let's say if I was. Now, if my character died and I did get to that rank, I can now get that on my character. I cannot re-roll the characters. I can only have them die and then have a chance to get those perks back again. Now, we'll continue with the experience. Now, let's say person B got so greedy that he died, and person A escapes. Well, person A is only going to really have 5,000. So that puts them in a situation where person B lost his whole character. He's now level 1. He needs supplies now more than ever, but is going to be very gimped in that way. But with experience, you'll realize you don't really need that many skills to survive. And if you are low level, you'll probably be trying to learn the map, objectives, and also seeing how the dynamics of your team is. Do people speak the same language? Do people work, collaborate, share together? If you ask, hey, I need pills, will someone actually offer pills? Or be able to offer, hey, I notice you're going to need that, let's help you out. And going out to search out for pills, or either to steadfast try speedrunning the objectives so that you don't die of infection, because no pills, either all pills have been expended or either no pills have been found. Now for the skill section on the very bottom, because experience is pretty much that. If you want a solid way of getting tickets, definitely extracting, but I'm going to be honest, it's not that crazy much as you get to higher up, and it is indeed doing those objectives. Now for skills, as I mentioned, you'll have the starter career, and that will be in the list that I've already mentioned that's in my server, and that was on screen earlier. But as you level up from level 5 to level 50, whenever you get a particular skill slot, it will give you 3 options. And you're just going to have to pick the best one that works and fits for you, and be able to see what you can do. My advice is, I have a lot of characters. This is actually my weakest character. I always send them out on particular runs. If they die, they die. That's fine. That's fine. I also have other characters that are specialized in different areas, from gathering medical equipment and having reduced weight, able to heal more, be able to be less likely to get infected, specializing in two-handed weaponry, etc., etc. And of course, this character, which is honestly my favorite because this is the most hilarious character, Overtime, a courier. Has mule, increased backpack weight capacity, which, by the way, when we get in game, I'll show you the capacity in game. It's actually based off weight. Every item you find will actually tell you weight, and it will actually be able to be monitored inside your inventory. Whenever you have that up on the top, it will tell you how much weight you have in capacity, and of course how much you're currently carrying. So max capacity and carrying. And let me just tell you one thing, you can actually find items in games to increase your adrenaline, and you'll find them. They're passive items to increase your stamina bar, your capacity, or carry weight, as we would pretty much call it normally in video game nomenclature. But simply put, with the mule, that is a perk-wide perk that you could be able to take to help out with that, and stack it on top if you find that item. It's not guaranteed, but finding that little satchel, little pouch in the field doesn't hurt. I have adrenaline here, critical health, you consume less stamina. Athlete, increased stamina. Sturdy body, reduced damage from attacks. Thick skin, increased maximum health. Acquired immunity, you're less likely to become infected by zombies. Scavenger expert, greatly increased ammo from ammo pickups. And limbo, You survive longer when down. Now this is ideally what you want to be looking for. Maybe switch out Adrenaline Rush. It's whatever you want to do. I think this is all really great. Adrenaline Rush is really great if you're a new person who is going to get messed up and there is no supplies or you don't know where to look. And let me just tell you, it is really handy, especially when you need to run away. The expert version makes no conception, so you can run as much as you want or swing and fight as much as you want. We're going to be playing as this character, as long as they survive. They're going to have Limbo, Quiet Steps, meaning reduced noise for movement. If you find the boots in the game, you can actually stack up that stealth movement, and you can sprint, and they won't hear you. Standard Rush, so two-handed heavy weapons use less stamina. This is my not exactly favorite. I prefer some one-handed, and the reason why I say that, there is distinct weapons that I like. I'll highlight in the loadout if it is available. There's some things in loadout you cannot find in there. You would have to find in the field. But we'll continue on. I have Sturdy Body, which is reduced damage from attacks, which is super great with your health pool. It'll definitely be able to help you survive even fall damage. It's just mitigating any damage just based on its own. You can also find actual body armor in the game that will also mitigate damage. Having that, and also the health pool boost is super strong, but just Sturdy Body alone is really great. Headhunter, increased melee headshot damage. You can't argue with one-shot headshots. Heavy Shoves isn't really good in my opinion. There's only one particular meme weapon that I really like to use with it, and I'll highlight it soon. Scavenger Expert. Now this is a really strong perk. Now, there's a caveat to it. And what I mean by this is Scavenger Expert can be really great if your team allows you to do your job. Now, you're going to have to go on mic and tell people, hey, I have Scavenger Expert, do not pick up any items. Because, let's say, for example, your friend found shotgun slugs, and you have a shotgun. And they find 5 shotgun slugs, but you're in the same room. It's not like you found on the other side of the map, which, again, this is like Resident Evil Outbreak. You find different items, different weapons, and the whole loop of the game is, hey, I found a bunch of shotgun ammo. I have no meds. Other guy says, hey, I found a bunch of meds, and I have a shotgun, but no shotgun shells. You trade with each other, or either you gift it to that person and be like, hey, look, I funded you in this way. You keep me safe. You know, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. Let's keep each other good. Now, Scavenger works as it greatly increases ammo from ammo pickups. That means is that if it's in the world naturally, let's say those 5 shotgun slugs, you grab it, the expert version can turn it 15 shotgun slugs, maybe even more, 20, how about 30, how about 40, maybe 44, we don't know. I actually had it go up that high, and it can get that ridiculous. It could stay in the low, but it can go that high. It's kind of a gambling chance. But the point is that if someone else picks up the ammo and then they drop on the ground, they expect you to just grab it and materialize ammo out of it. That's not how it's going to work. What you're going to have to do is, and I'm going to be honest, it's kind of a responsibility when you have this this particular perk and you tell people. I literally, when we go in complete particular puzzle rooms, I'm like, hey everyone, you can grab whatever you want. I'm going to grab all the ammo and I'm going to drop it on the ground because I'm going to print ammo. And I do not want you guys picking up that ammo. So what that does is that it multiplies the ammo in the room and keeps everyone funded, not just yourself. So that's what I do. I grab all the ammo in the room, or any ammo I find in the field, and I either carry it for someone who will need it, and I'll ask and be like, hey, who is looking for this ammo? Or who has these weapons? And you keep mental notes. That's a really great way of going about it. And like I said, even if you don't have this perk, and even if you're just in the field, it's always good to carry something. But always within reason. You don't want to expose yourself just to haggle with weight. I'll tell you that's another very early run killer if you are not smart. Another perk here is Athlete, increased stamina. This is a really strong one. It allows you to easily outrun things, fight in combat, and keep things a lot easier. Honestly, it's my highly most preferred particular skill if you are brand new into the game. Let me see here. I believe it's Track Star. Yeah, Track Star has increased stamina. There might be other roles that will have it, but these are the ones I encountered pretty much. And I did a little bit of research as well, and yeah, I think that's the only role. And if you ever run into that, it's really great. really great if you're a new character. And even if you don't, there's other great ones. Now we're going to be focusing in the loadout section. In the loadout section, as you'll see here, we'll be starting with a lead pipe and a Magnum revolver. Now, I emphasize Magnum because that's going to be the type of ammo that's going to be carrying, pretty much. I do have a friend who jokingly also disables the equipment here. That is Imperially if you want to do it for the meme. It doesn't add or give you extra bonus XP or whatever. But developers, if you're listening, I would love for that to be a fun challenger modifier. Kind of is unfortunate for the other teammates, but I mean, that's my opinion. Now let me explain this menu because it's honestly confusing, considering how this works. Now, you're going to level up and you're going to be able to buy these items. And it's going to require account level. Sometimes it will require other factors. A really good example is in the medical section. Alright, a bandage. Alright, I can start with bandages. That's the 8th slot. Oh, yeah, med kit. Alright, alright. That, I can do that. That's going to require not only account level 22, but your particular character to be level 20. And then there's other requirements. And I want to start with, whoa, that costs us a lot. I have the character level, but we need the account level to be 42, and also requires Nightmare level 15. That means you're going to have to survive 15 Nightmare runs, which, and honestly, in my opinion, you don't really need that. I think that's more so to get stuff like this, which, in my opinion, the mass casualty kit is a lot better. If I recall, it's going to come with one first aid or med kit in there, and it's going to be, I think, let's see, I'm forgetting if it's a slot of 2 or 3, but to give you an idea, it's going to have 2 layers of bandages, so it's either going to be 4 or 6 bandages, and in between them is going to be nestled 2 or 3 pills, but I'm pretty sure it's 2. I'm pretty sure it's just 4. So 4 bandages, 2 pills, and a med kit, which honestly, that's really good. You could probably deploy that, just grab all that, and you're really going to survive your runs a lot. Bandages are going to be able to heal a moderate amount of your health if you have the skilled medic perk. I think it's, hold on, let me actually pull up my list here, which is nice and convenient. Nurse will have the skilled medic. Yeah, heal yourself and others. Now, it's going to say faster, but it actually heals you more. And that's the thing, is that there is a lot of nuance in some of these, but that's like my quick rundown and dirty of them, because I'm like, okay, it does do that, but it also says more, so what do they mean by that? And that's where you're going to have to do a lot of practicing with figuring out what works what and how it works for you. There is particular resources I will point out in the future, but that's going to be for a later time. Now, as we're going through forward, what does this mean for us? Alright, well, I want to buy this. Now, will I buy it and own it forever? No. No, you won't. Oh, that sucks. Then what's the point of buying it? Well, there's a few reasons to buy, and there's a few reasons to not. For me, I don't, because I'm fine with my character dying, and I'm fine with what happens. Now, this is what happens when you buy something. You actually don't buy it for that one particular run. So that's the misconception that a lot of people fall under. What actually happens is that when you buy the item, you are buying it for the character. Yes. You're like, what? Yes. This character you see on screen, if I were to buy an item or a weapon or what have you, that is going to be unlocked for that character. So if this character survives, that character can now take that into another future run, which can guaranteed save someone else's life, your life, what have you. Sometimes you really want a bladed weapon. A really strong meta weapon, I would say, is bladed weapons right now. You'll be able to easily chop off zombies' legs with one quick heavy slice by either doing a nice quick crouch and then slice from a good safe distance, or either in normal combat, or when they're trying to trail onto you, or either if you're trailing behind them and you get them while they're distracted by another player or thing, you could easily make them into crawlers, make them very slow. Crawlers can still be dangerous, but are a lot less of a threat and are easier to mop up. But There is, of course, still value in other weapons, and there, of course, is different tiers of things. Now, one thing I will highlight that no one has mentioned is this particular item. Now, this item is basically a small pipe. Could be debatably viewed as a little bit worse, but it's actually not. Now, if you noticed inside the weapon area, it goes from small pipe to kitchen, which is level 3, long pipe level 2, level 4 rebar, tire iron 5, and large wrench 6. But why level 15 for an adjustable wrench if the knife or other options are better? Now, the wrench actually can help you not only in combat, but it also can help you repair objectives. Particular objectives. I'm not going to list specific ones exactly, as much as I want to give everything away. I could probably mention a solid list in the future, but I would like to get definitive things onto there. As for right now, that's what you'll know, and that will keep things a little bit in the non-spoiler territory. Now, going onward for firearms, you'll have your standard Model 13 revolver, chambered in 3.57 Magnum, and of course, double barrel shotgun. It's an option. Like I said, you get it for that character, they can bring it in the field, you could give it to another person or what have you, and you work out from there. And that's how it works. You take it in the field, you hope to do well, and you could die from the most ridiculous things. But all I can say is do your best to actually survive and give as much as you can, even if it's for someone else's run. Because it's very nice when someone doesn't just give up early on and is able to add more to the fight. And of course, you do get reward the longer you survive by objectives being done with the account levels, so always try it. Now, from here, we're going to go into the game. Now, on the top right currently, we have combat tips. These are pretty good tips. There is a video that does demonstrate it. For example, the consecutive same click thing is a little bit odd to understand. All it means is you hit left click, you hit it immediately again. It's the exact same animation. It apparently does more damage. Hard to tell. It seems that it does, but you can't really tell with animation at this time. I do want to recommend to the developers to update that and to make it more of a oomph kind of hit, so it gives that kind of visual feedback. I know they did that earlier in the prior update, but hopefully that adds on and builds up further. Now we're going to go into a game. We don't know if we're going to get into a classic, hard, or nightmare. We don't know if my character is going to live or die. But that's the point of a live demonstration. It is to give you a real tutorial. I'm going to break things down and give a solid understanding. What we're going to be greeted soon with, when we deploy, is a map screen that's going to tell us what map we're playing. And no matter what, there's a lot of factors that can change. You can have a map with varying different objectives, different escapes, different exfiltration sites, different loot. In one run, a store will be there. It will be a pharmacy. A next run, it is now a craftsman's workshop, or either it's closed. So that's the point of acknowledging and recognizing certain landmarks, but distinct landmarks that are labeled on the map will always be there and will usually be the same. The only thing that will really change, is honestly the finale or the main objective. That's what I will say that will definitively really change. We will deploy, and when you deploy, on the bottom you'll have a matchmaking timer. If you are higher level character, it's not going to put you in a higher queue time. Worst it will ever be is 2 minutes, never above. Usually it's either instantaneously, 30 seconds, or a minute, usually tops. We don't know. But what it's trying to do is it's trying to pull a group of high level survivors so you can play a nightmare run or a hard run. As it usually pulls around players that are around your level. Don't be surprised if you do see a level 1 inside your nightmare run like I mentioned earlier. That can happen. Alright, match ready. Let's found a host. Let me dive into it. Alright, Pottsville. Civilian rescue. Alright. On the outskirts. So when you start the game, when you are queued up with other teammates, you will actually see their username and their little marker without having to discover them and where they are in the world. Sometimes it could be on the other side of the world of you, sometimes they could spawn right with you or right beside you, but that's usually how that works. Now, this is the menu. We're going to hit Charlie or C on the keyboard. On the top left, you'll see find other responders in the field. If you find other players, it will actually tell you their current status in the world. So it'll tell you how much resources they have gathered for the pool if they survive. And it will also tell you if they are currently downed, which you only have really only a minute or less to be able to help them if they're down. So it is a handy tool. It will tell you with the little cross, the little white cross telling you that they're down. And as you see on the top, that is our health bar. It's nice, blue, it's fully health. And when it goes down, it will actually start going on the left. As you saw, we saw a player there. And from there, it will start changing colors and lowering as we go on. The bottom right is our main objectives. You see on our little compass the direction and also how far things are. We also see waypoints in the distance. And you see the number 2 next to outskirts. That is the difficulty level. The difficulty level will actually increase as time goes on in the match, and also where you are and how dangerous the area is. Sometimes certain enemies, like the screamer enemies that are usually cast in caustic kind of gas, those people will be able to increase the difficulty of the area if you are not careful. And any gunshots, any sounds, and this is an example of a blue supply. This is a small supply item, valuable. This will add 25 to my amount. Alright, so when we're in our tab, as you see on the very top, that is, we have 2 out of 10 kilograms. That is our current particular weight that we have on us right now. As you saw, I just outran that zombie. That's not a problem. You'll see your character stuff in the info on the right, match XP, current account level, etc. And on the far left, you might not notice this. If you hit Q, you can turn on your flashlight. It'll actually track your flashlight battery on there. Now that's not what a lot of people know about.
Taking the baseball bat.
We'll take the baseball bat. Why not? Alright, looks like the person ran through here. More medium supplies. One of these blue supplies. This will help other people level up. For me, I don't need it, but that's why we pick it up. So when we make it out, other people can utilize it. Alright. Now, this difficulty, you'll be able to tell when you hit pause. You'll see your skills. You'll see whoever's here. If you need to hit pause, you can click on someone's username to send them a friend request, block them, report them, mute them. There might be people who are hot micing. That is my little kind of warning to you, pretty much. So that if you do not like that experience that someone else is bringing, you can do that and avoid that. Now, as you can see here, there is 45 ACP. I will pick it up. It will now give me a 23 because I was able to make a lot of ammo out of it because of my perk. That is very handy. And if we either find the gun or either find someone with that, you know, using a weapon that has an ammo type, we can then gift it to them and be able to help them out in the field. Now, the reason why I'm searching this area, usually there's sometimes a first aid in the back of these. It looks like another player ran through it, which is not a problem. I'm taking our time. Now, we'll take that.
Go short range.
Now, you don't need to worry. Oh, if I can get that knife, that would be great. Might be glitched. That's not a problem. Now, the thing is that time is on your side if you are not infected. Simply put, the time is always ticking against you, but if there's zombies in the world, they will spawn around you. Oh, this is the meme weapon I was talking about. This is the deployable work light. Honestly, this should stay as such. Now, when you hit F, you can shove, and you can hold down to kick. I will probably give a demonstration real soon, but as you see here, with this weapon, you can instantly shove, and I can kill them because of my one perk that I have. But as you see, if I kick or do a normal shove, it will take a lot of stamina. For some weird reason, which is great, and I honestly think this should stay in the game, you can instantly spam. And I have the shoving deals damage perk, so I can actually kill the enemies with this. And it's honestly hilarious. Now this is a runner. You want to watch out for runner. You'll tell from the heavy breathing, panting, and of course them running. They can be dead silent, so do know that. That's why you usually see me looking around a lot, always behind my back, because there is no guaranteed safety. You can have a full-out shambler, runner, running completely dead sprint at you, and there's no way you could do that. They could even spawn right behind you. You don't even know it.
I got some handguns.
So that's why you got to be careful. Now, another useful thing I do want to mention as a new player, and this is the hugest thing if you want to find people, you can hit the middle mouse button to ping in the world. Look, we just heard someone else also ping, but we're not close enough to them to be able to see, but we hear them. So that we know they're down this way towards this objective. Because that was not me pinging. If we find an item, we can ping it, and it can mark it. We can mark it. And from there, you will actually see that really far across the map, like that. That's a really great example. If I got close enough, it will actually tell me what item that is. If someone's having an alarm go off. Usually up here, I usually find supplies here. Ooh, radio, that'll distract zombies. Away from other players if we need to do that. But yeah, when we get close enough, we'll be actually able to see what that item that player has marked. And it will actually highlight it in white, as you see there. Oh, they hit a firefighter zombie. Hello. Awesome.
Got an AR. Got an auto rifle.
Let's see. We don't need that. Honestly. And as much as I like this rifle, it's a Magnum. We already start with the Magnum that we start with, so you can honestly just take the ammo out of it. Default, the keybind is U to unload ammo out of weapons that are in the field. For me, I re-keybinded it on my as a side mouse button to be able to easily unload my own weapon or unload weapons I find in the field. Okay, they found the tools. Nice. So as you can see, we are bringing the light into the field. We are doing good. Put the pipe bombs on top of people. So as you saw there, he just threw a proximity bomb on me. That's exactly what the proximity bomb does. It will actually explode when a zombie runs into it. Now, this game, because it has permadeath, yes, these characters that you are playing with will have permadeath. You cannot hurt other players with explosions, but you can hurt and kill yourself. So, do with that what you will, be warned. But that is indeed the situation. You gotta be careful. You gotta be very careful with hurting yourself. Because that's where you'll start learning the engagement ranges. Let's see, holographics, sight. Now you see there's a mantling system. You can mantle on building the building, do a bunch of stuff. There is fall damage. We will try to avoid that. And do what we can. Apologies for all the alarms going on. Alright, so they just did all those 3 areas are all listed out with the blue check marks. Those are the main objectives. Usually you'll tell that their main objectives, especially on the power plant level, they are highlighted in red. But there will be other landmarks you can hit and do, like for example that cemetery and brewery over there. But that is, again, optional. You can and don't have to do that. But yeah, pretty much. But yeah, my match XP is 210, and as you see, I've not done any of the real objectives, but I've survived. I've survived. And especially if I'm in the area where they're completed, likely might get some contribution to that. Nice. Once found a 9mm.
Got a handgun.
Okay, someone took the medical supplies that I was about to trade out. It's not a problem. I got been hit, and we should be fine, honestly, with this gun. It looks like he needed it. Probably got hit. Ooh, got a little damage there. I think that's just environmental. Unloading that ammo. I've dumped the holographic sight, which you can do that with the right click. You could also hit G to drop as well, but that's usually how that goes. Make sure every time when you find a weapon to hit R to reload, because sometimes you may find a weapon and it'll say it's loaded. It's not really loaded. That's why you always have to manually check yourself. And then your character will be informed and will know that indeed it is indeed there. Now, put this bomb here. I'm gonna keep far away because I can get hurt by them, but when it blows up, then it gets blown up. Grab the magnum ammo, which I now have a lot more of. Got a runner here. Up, they hit me. Alright. You want to be careful when claustrophobic in situations like this, even the enemies spawn like that. And if you have stamina, you can actually do that push-back maneuver. But, you know, if you don't have stamina, they will actually take a huge free chunk bite out of you. And while in the animation, the other Zeds can actually take a knob meal out of you. They can hit you, beat you down, and it's not fun or easy. So, as you can see, you always gotta be at the top of your toes. Even if you are a level 50 character, you can be, well, it could be a game ender. I also check these cars out here because they also have a chance of finding a first aid kit. I've actually found a gun out here a couple times. Now, I'll actually show you a tip. They actually, in this particular map, as you see, they're holding out for survivors to extract. You can actually get out of the map and continue with the rest of the mission and do the mission without having to be stuck here. There's our Ghastly character that we talked about earlier. This is a streamer. Jumping through glass. Alright, hello everyone. So, what you can do is you can jump up here. Sometimes medical supplies spawn right there. Sorry for the loud audio, they're trying to survive. The medical supplies spawn there, and you can sit up here and be safe. And this is actually a normal thing in the game. The game actually promotes you to get on top of vehicles. There we go. We're trying to run in here, and then jump up here. That's how you can get up here. Now, what we'll teach you here today is you can access there. Sometimes a ranger, boots I've seen spawn up here. But what you can do, you break this glass, this one here. You can actually leave early with the gates closed and make it to the next section. And start your looting runs early. So yeah, that is how you get out of the map in Community Center. Now we did get hit, so I'm going to show you how much health the bandage shield. You see at the top of the screen? That is how much. That's without any fancy perks that makes it stronger or better, so don't hate bandages entirely, but hey, bandages keep you healthy, so we're not going to argue with it. Now this building usually is a pharmacy, but as you can see it did not spawn as that. That is okay. But we see we got another bandage. We're good there. Got this back alley. Look, someone already joined me up here. Oh, there's our pharmacy here. It spawned this time.
Team 2, we're tracking very large numbers of dead in downtown Pottsville, so be ready. Your route there has a lot of storage.
Also, there is alarms that can be enabled. Disabled, obviously you want to have them disabled.
That gate leads downtown. You'll need to activate it to get through.
Let's see. Yes. Stay down. Safe here. I think he should be dead. So it's kind of hilarious. Run,
Got
there's some
plague pills
pills.
here, y'all.
Which, by the way, so when you have an infection, you'll start seeing like a bunch of effects like white going around your eyes. It will progress and go to an absurd level of hearing voices in your head, not being able to hear audio, loud like
Grabbing Magnum
sounds,
rounds.
screaming, etc. There's a lot of factors that go into play with being infected.
Hold
But
up,
eventually
gotta
you'll get
reload.
to a point where your character will start seeing worms all be on the screen. That's your signal and your time to then use your pills. That is, and it takes a long time. And each pill can give you around, I think, 3 uses each pill. And it actually stretches you out pretty far. Ah, good. That explains why I didn't see anything really out here. So this is 1 kilogram. We're gonna need to drop a little bit more. We could probably drop, as much as it sucks, the pills. This is a lot stronger. And now we'll be able to get the answer of what this box gives you. Hello, sir. See, runners will spawn, and they will try kicking your ass. This is your time to kick them in the ass. Now, you can take turns, but we'll show you the standard way. If you want to interrupt them,
From across downtown.
now that leap right there you just saw that guy do, that's what you want to always look out for. And you always want to, like, you know, shove, interrupt them, because that's what they're going to do. But right now, we're going to try getting with the team since we know they're already pushing ahead. Someone turn off the electricity that's right here. So we're going to go around. Over here, past this little monument thing, there's going to be those ambulances. You could likely find medical supplies in there as well if you did not get a pharmacy chance to spawn. Sometimes it's just loot that you can loot, but, you know, like this. But other times you can actually get lucky and find medical supplies, like a first aid kit or what have you. Which, we're doing pretty good. But as you can see, like I said earlier, stealth Zeds. That's what they do. That's what they be. We'll heal up soon, but we just gotta get across. When you get to this point, if you do the skip, there's a gas you can do here. Fill up this generator, then do the little mini game with the generator, and then you advance. So right now, at the bottom of the screen, you see our stamina bar there. I'm gonna keep our eyes on it as much as we can. Thankfully, with this weapon, we don't need to really worry about stamina management that crazy much. But if, especially two-handed weapons, you always want to make sure you have a lot available to you, because that could compromise, put you in a situation. Now we're gonna use the mass casualty kit, the one that I mentioned earlier. That is its description. Here, issue mass casualty kit contains medical supplies to treat a large number of people with severe injuries. That could, but you see, all right. So it is indeed 2. All right, so my memory was a little bit better than that's what I did believe. So it is 4 bandages and a first aid. Okay, we'll clear out these beds real quick. Okay, they're dead. And they are dead. Alright. So now that we have a lot more space, since we're no longer carrying the box, we can carry a lot. I think, hopefully everyone's all
Keep me
safe and good.
covered. I gotta heal.
Yeah, this first aid kit will heal you all the way. It's really strong.
Grab some pills.
And that will allow us to
I got
carry that.
pills, y'all.
Alright. That we haven't run into players to be able to gift all these weapons to. But it's all good. Oh, someone has fallen. As you can see on the top left, like I mentioned, when someone falls, they will also have that. And also their status bar if they're getting revived. Do you need pills? I have pills.
I got mine.
Gotcha. Nope, I'm doing fine. So yeah, as you can see, people talk in text, in voice chat, and also type in text chat, as you probably noticed earlier.
Reloading real quick.
There are distinct enemies that will have helmets. You can also shoot off their arms to reduce their attacking range. You shoot off the helmets, do that. Hip fire. Also, by default, there is settings to have and not have a crosshair. I turn them on as much as I'm very used to them in so many games, Killing Floor, the original game of this. The reason why I recommend getting crosshair, especially if you're new, or either if you just want a more casual play, you'll notice there, it goes red when you are actually in effective range. And you see, even that strike has interrupted that overhead, which is the bane of a lot of people's runs because they get infected by that, they get hit, they get wounded, you know. So you will learn your engagement ranges a lot better. With these shielded guys, you want to do the right click so that you can hit on the other side of the hand, because you'll have to do that. And as you can see, fighting with someone else is handy, and that is what, well, de-legging them looks like. They become crawlers, and it's your choice you want to continue with. Oh, we heard her. And it works out. And you see, these helmet guys can be a little bit, well, a little rough here and there if you get in a really bad spot. There you go. This is a great vehicle to be on top of in the map that you can rest at.
No ammo.
Now, as you see, I've had my battery on for all that time. I usually always keep my battery off because I see plenty fine. If you want to avoid having to use your flashlight all the time, you can increase your gamma on your computer settings or your monitor settings and be able to do that. This guy has a hot mic, so we're going to mute him. But the whole point is I could literally sit here and the whole mission could be done pretty much. But anyway, back with the tutorial. The whole advantage as well is that if I'm attracting any zombies at all, especially if I shoot a gun, by the way, which that's the reason why I don't have a lot of zombies on me. Usually they call a lot. But you see, those zombies just turned around and now they're coming towards me. I shot my gun on purpose to distract zombies. There's a max cap of zombies that can spawn in certain maps, and if you are distracting a large number of them, these zombies are no longer being spawned in the world to harass your teammates. Sure, you're not doing the objective, you're not harming any people, but this is a notable way to make things easier. In this map, I don't think it's necessarily necessary unless you're doing the stores, which is here and this side of the stores, because we can get claustrophobic. But when you are, in particular, are playing Power Plant, it can be very helpful in Nightmare to do that. And there's a lot of places you can do that. Let's see, so that is uploading. Actually, let me upload their data over there. Now there's another thing I wanted to mention. These are all the weights. They tell you how much weight they have on the items. 2 kilograms, 1. And even if you put ammo into it, it's going to be the same. So, again, more incentivizes you to always keep your gun as loaded as you can. I don't know what their situation is over there, so I'm going to go help them out. You can also pause and tell if people have died. The two on the bottom are indeed dead. That's a really great way to tell who is actually doing their job or what's their situation.
We got it. Well done.
They did. So now I can call extraction. Okay, I'll leave.
Extraction when you're ready to go.
Yeah, you can shoot that past if you want. Is that a running it past me? That is running.
I'm skint. Lean out.
Alrighty. Magnum time.
Reloading this.
I knew it was that extraction, huh? I was like, hearing all the gunshots, I was like, wait a minute. And that is fine. We didn't get to share any of the ammo we found in the world, but no one needs it. And as you can hear, it looks like no one has that issue, honestly. And one thing you always want to do is learn these weapons.
Don't jump on the stairs, right? You'll fall through the map.
That is indeed a true fact. Be careful.
Not
Now, on the very
jump on
top
the stairs.
Well, specifically in the bank, you want to be worried about. That is a general thing. When you go up the stairs, that is a current bug that's going on right now. You can't fall through the map. Or fall through underneath the stairs and just be stuck there. But you can, of course, sprint. For example,
Holy shit.
as I was mentioning earlier,
Can't
before I was
believe it.
interrupted.
This is criminal.
Is everything all right?
He barricaded the door.
It's actually kind of hilarious. Anyway, so you want to learn weapons because to some normal person, this may look like a fully animatic weapon, and it is very close to looking like a fully animatic weapon. And there is versions of it. There's some that shoot bursts, single fire. This is the version that shoots single fire. So always know what you're using. You'll get familiar with time. Yes. I guess friendly fire with explosives is an outfit. Interesting.
Thank God.
Bravo's on
Might be
route
because it's
to full
hard.
helo. Well done, everybody.
Man, shadow patches. Anyway, as I mentioned earlier, you're getting the XP for the total account experience. It's all being added here, and then the total supplies extracted. This is going to be, again, strictly for characters. I didn't get any of this, but anyone else who did not have a level 50 character will be getting 26,000 experience for their characters for this one particular run, which is quite a lot considering what it is. I've had other runs where it's been 30, 50,000, 50k, or even 100k. It can get pretty wild. But if you're looking for experience, it's mainly just doing the objectives. This is just stuff for people who may need it. Or if you are a particular person who needs that experience, then risk and reward. And you see on the top right, main objectives completed. I get that many little tickets, as I like to call them, that little yellow currency to unlock for the character. And here you can go over click, mute people. You can still text chat and talk to people in here. And also add, be like, oh, I like this person. They did a really good job in the field. And you could just do that. But that's pretty much the nutshell of the game. There's a lot more nuances that I can go into. We'll do another run. We might encounter more stuff. Oh, for example, join session lost. It's going to be trying to find one player that's trying to make as the host. And that person ended up quitting on deploying on a mission, or ended the session pretty much. And that's what that did. That's what the joining session failed. And you're only going to really encounter this when you are level 50. Because again, it's trying to get you in a nightmare match. And it can happen a little bit. Sometimes I've had it where it's like 5 times in a row. And then like on the 6th one, it then works, but works either way. But yeah, pretty much in a nutshell, you get those tickets. What was it? 4,000? Yeah, we could probably spend to get a med kit. Probably. Yep, now waiting for match. Because you could actually wait for a solid amount of time in here, like a minute and a half, and then say failed to join on person. And that's just because someone quit. The person who was going to be the host quit. And that's just what that means. So if you're ever underneath a different impression, that's what that means. And that's why I'm here making this stream, this lovely, fantastic guide to put it out there on YouTube and on Twitch to be able to inform you what exactly to expect and see of this game. There's a lot of things I can mention. A quick few things that I actually want to mention in particular. The experimental gene therapy. So when you find this item, a lot of people are very confused, and especially considering from the first game with how insanely rare that item is, it's understandable. Now, how to use this this particular item properly, it's a little weird, but you have to know this. Now, you're going to go into the game thinking, oh, well, I found it. It's going to be in this kind of like silver-ish kind of Resident Evil hunk case, or Resident Evil 2 kind of metal case that's in there, and it's going to have a little bit of, I think, for sure, yellow wrapping. Might be orange, might be red. I can't recall from the top of my head. But it's going to have this item inside of it. And the whole box is pretty much that item. It's going to look like this inside the select wheel. And when you equip it, you're going to whip it out. And the whole point of it is it's going to inoculate you. And it's going to make you now immune to getting infected. It doesn't mean you can't die from zombies, fall damage, fire, elemental, all that business. But the infection is no longer an issue, and if you are infected, it will indeed cure that. Now, how does this work? Because people think, oh, I just hit left click and it works. I am now cured. That is it. That's not how that works. You hit the left click to take your particular sample that's being generated into the gene therapy DNA synthesizer, pretty much. And from there, what it's doing is it's trying to make your blood now able to be immune. So you have to wait 30 full seconds once you inject inside yourself and pull it out, and you'll see on the item it will fill up with a 30-second timer of it filling up, making you vulnerable, but that's what it's there for. And then you inject yourself again, and then now you are now cured or either now immune, and now your character will toss and discard it. Because I've seen very early on in the game where a lot of people would be like, oh, wow, we found gene therapy, and they would pass it amongst each other and just keep stabbing each other, and, you know, like they would stab themselves thinking that they're getting immune, but that's not how it works. A revived syringe. Now, the revived syringe, how it's used is when you get down, it's not what you think it is. It's not, hey, my teammate went down, I can now instantly revive them, right? No. That's kind of what that other perk, the medical perk, that allows you to revive people faster, and you've seen people revive each other pretty fast, and I think they had that perk enabled. But no, the revive syringe is to allow you to fully res yourself. And how it works is when you go down, you'll get a prompt. I'll tell you, do you want to revive your... You can still be saved by other people, but you can also be holding on that revive syringe and get up and then fight, pretty much. That's how that is utilized. The pills I already kind of explained earlier with a good description during the session, but that's pretty much how that rolls. You already seen how medkit and the bandages are used, mass casualty kit, you got to see how that's used. And these are the major things. Medical is the major thing you want to learn when you're getting into the game. After that, you can go into the utility stuff. Barricade stacks. Are you making a barricade inward or outward on the barricades? Yes, you can actually put a board on both sides of the door, and you may not realize that you have that option, but it is a thing. Trust me, if you try it in game, you'll find that out. Swapping out batteries, refill up your battery meter. You already saw, you don't really need to worry about that much. There you go. Deployable light, you saw me have a meme time with it. And yeah, there's other stuff. Nailer, this is electric nailer that allows you to reduce the barricading time. Ranger boots is what I was talking about earlier. The high quality all-weather hiking boots reduces noise generated by moving. Ammo crate, we saw someone put down their ammo crate, I think, and we were able to duplicate it. If not, then it's pretty much what that is. It's just a crate. It's just like the other medical crate where it just has a bunch of ammo, and guess what? If you interact with it and you have scavenger, you're producing more ammo. Adrenaline shot, it allows you to increase your maximum stamina and regen. It doesn't say that, but it's the truth. The regen, in my opinion, is pretty either really strong or either it's just that good. Body armor just protects wearer from damage, pretty much, from all damage, which is super great. And the satchel. Yep, increases inventory space. Not crazy much, but man, it'll make a huge difference. And if you have items where it's like, hey, I can carry multiple explosive items because I'm a grenadier, or multiple medical items or utility items like flashlights and barricade stuff, you will see how that will stretch super far, and you will be able to stuff like an insane amount of things on your person and be fine. There's even a thing for ammo, which if you think I was carrying an insane amount of ammo, which, by the way, I didn't really find that much crazy ammo in that match, but you saw how much I was already carrying. Plenty, and we're plenty fine. You'll be able to see how grand and great that is. Proximity IED, we already saw someone use it cover. We saw people tossing pipe bombs around. Same thing works like with a frag grenade, but the difference between the two, the major one, and it gives you details, like, you know, this one has a 3.5 fuse, second fuse and lethal for 5 meters. And then there's this one. But the real kicker is that the pipe bomb will beep and it will actually act like a mini radio, and it will actually attract the zombies to it. Very much like a pipe bomb from Left 4 Dead. And yeah, it's as effective as a grenade. If you ask me, in my honest opinion, if you had a choice, I would definitely say pick the pipe bomb over the frag grenade. Unless you corralled a bunch of enemies and you just want to toss, and there you go, and you feel more comfortable with knowing the exact timing and stuff, there you go. That's where you have it. But yeah, that's pretty much where that is. But yeah, we'll go for another run. We'll see what we get. And yeah, that's pretty much the nutshell you need to know. After this, it's going to be mainly playing the maps and learning what particular objectives that you need to do. Learning the nuances. There are some instructions that are like, what? A head scratcher, and you may need a guide for it, or either, in my opinion, you just need to put yourself in that very unfortunate experience, and then you'll never forget it. But, hey, as with all sharp things, it can always be dull. So, we must refine ourselves and sharpen the tools to be stronger. Now, this map can go really well or really bad, but in my opinion, this usually goes well. The reason why I say that is that this is usually the train extraction, or there's other options. So there we go, the medical place there. Sometimes the medical spawns right where I was looking at. There's a knife spawns there, which I'm pretty sure these people grabbed everything. Now on this map, you'll be able to see. As you see, we all started together, so I'm actually able to track all these people on the top left and also on the map, and it's associated with their color. So I can also know who exactly is going where. Hardware, store, and pharmacies. Here on the bottom right, this is where we gotta go. Now we don't have the light with us, so we're gonna have to play more legitly, but that was a really great way of experimenting and showing you pretty much like giving a good explanation of how the game runs. So this person already, like, is he up? Like I said, they found a knife. That's our area and started delegging.
Got a melee weapon.
Yeah, so we found a heavy. We found a tree trimmer, which is pretty good. Not the best in my opinion, but there you go. So this looks like a gun store. It's a little dark in here, so we'll light up a little bit. As mentioned, we'll grab any bit of ammo. You can also break open these cases. They also have items in them.
Got an auto rifle. Got some rounds. Sight on.
Flashlight. Okay.
Grabbing some shotgun shells.
I have scavenger plus, so if you let me grab the ammo, I'm gonna multiply it. I'm dropping on the ground. Okay, so we have 9 mil. Win. So he didn't unload his gun. Now I just got the ammo from his gun. Took the ammo out of that. Rifle suppressor.
Got some pills.
You know what? I will take
Taking this
the
heavy
rifle.
ammo.
Because I don't have that many shotgun shells, even though shotgun shells is very effective. We will take a rifle here, specifically this one.
Cover me.
I'm not a crazy fan of it, but this will do. And as you see, when you do these areas, these blue doors will be invulnerable until you open them. So that's where you want to be mindful of. Now, as you saw, we got a rifle suppressor. This will make our weapon suppress. That's honestly one of the flattering reasons I got it. So this is also 9 mil. Be able to grab that ammo.
Reloading. Cover me.
I'm also going to break open the case here, if I can.
Oh yeah.
Alright. Short, long rifle flashlight. We can't put it on this gun, so we'll probably just toss it. That's for the other long arms. Helping out that player. person's healing. Let's get rid of them. See what these items are. Grabbing any ammo we can. We'll keep that out later. Pardon me. Go out the same way we came. Kick. Avoid the zombie on our right. That's very close. Spin a little bit, so we just regen a little bit. Dodge this way. And yeah, that is how you get out of a situation that's like that. Now, when you're using a heavy weapon versus a light weapon, because you're going to be put in this situation like I am, you want to anticipate the swing before you would even swing normally with a light weapon, like a full second before. So, like, you have to let go very early, but obviously getting the timing and stuff wrong is pretty punishing, but that's usually the rule.
Spit it out, man. You ain't getting into the Marines. Not without the,
Alright, so we gotta go over here. Now, this is by the same people with Chivalry, so you saw I did a right to left swing with my camera. That allows you to swing with more momentum and be able to hit multiple enemies in that one swing. This guy's probably a runner, so we're gonna leg him. Getting back in here. Nope, no ammo. Alright, so it looks like they hit the place clean pretty much. We'll be heading to the funeral home, catacombs, and the church. Fun fact about these guys, as much as they're screamers, nope. See, we saw her shadow, we heard her for a split second. Now, the thing is, those screamers, if you deleg them, they can't actually scream anymore. So it makes them now useless, but if you kill them, then they become that toxic bomb that's super annoying to deal with. That's unfortunate. But that's usually how that works, pretty much. And you saw with the runner, always expect something like that to happen. It's, yep. What did I just say? There's always someone coming after you. You really want to be safe, have your back to something and look around. Always take a moment to be present. Now, we're entirely on our own, but as you can tell, I'm already fine with that. Honestly, it's a lot less Zeds. And if I do attract a lot of Zeds, that's good, because it's a lot of Zeds on me and not on my team. Now, the catacombs is a lot more dangerous, especially since it's very tight in the quarters, and I do not have any proper medical supplies. Everyone else has found it. Zombies can spawn out of boxes and lockers and a bunch of other interesting places, even body bags. I can go further, but that would be kind of spoiling everything. No screaming for you. Long gun. Again. Now let's look at all this ammo we have. So 308. Right, 45. Alright, we're pretty much carrying all the ammo that we probably want too much. Now, the reason why I swung and didn't hit, even though I could, I'd rather have crawlers so that they take up the spawn time, limit of the zombies. And also to now allow myself to be ready if I do need to defend myself with another swing.
One of us isn't coming back.
Oh, looks, no, I think she's just saying a line. Anyway, what I was going to say was, it allows me to regen my stamina, which is very, very handy. Splitting up for them. Bandages, nice. That is what we need. We do not need the NATO rounds.
Grabbing some Magnum rounds.
Let's see, NATO. So yeah, it made it 10 rounds. Magnum rounds. Yeah, went away. But you saw there how it just went to, you know, the other set. You know, it went from 5 rounds now to 10. Could have been 15, could have been higher, could have been lower. That's just how that works. Alright, so kind of bodies. Just get out of here now. As much as I like this place, it's actually really, really cool. It is also a death sentence. Let's see. We'll fill up our battery, so that's how fast and how it looks. So I was able to hit perfectly in that area. So I was able to get him. Got the pills. Do I have enough? No. What do we want to sacrifice? Did I get hurt anyway? No, I didn't. We'll drop half of that so we get a full heal. And then... Oh,
See this?
I guess we were able to squeeze it. Guess we just got lucky that way. Compact packet. Alright. As you see with more experienced people, it gets pretty fast with how you kind of cover everything. Cover ground, get objectives done, be looking around.
Rounds for asylum.
Oh, there's the body bag. The music is really good in this game. When it gets really intense, it really bumps up that intense music. Other times it's nice serene. So you got one run where you'll have a gun in here, other runs no. So you have to kind of go do and accept. Okay, so they're already heading to the boathouse escape. So this is not exactly good because we are really far, but I'm pretty sure we have plenty of time. For some reason can't grab that, it's just the latest update. That was a quick light. You don't always want to risk that because, you know, there's a chance that it cannot cut through. Alrighty. So basically, you don't need to fight everyone, and there's no real reward. It would be cool, as I've noticed other people saying, like, if total zombie kills, it's something to kind of track it. Like the explosion. Or she screams. So as you see, they were interacting with the gate, turning it.
That's our objective.
They're through. So you saw I ping there to let them know, hey, you need to turn the gate to get that guy out. Because, yeah, they could absolutely die. Speaking of which, I should probably load up all my guns if I haven't already. I'm the leader of the pack over here. I'm gonna highlight that medikit. If anyone wants it, they can take it. So no one needs it. There we go. Keep a mental note where this is. It's right outside the exit. If we need to retreat back here for medkit. This is a little more congested, so I'm gonna just take a bunch of these legs from these enemies. Let's get our stamina back up again. So as you see, there is a glitch where some enemies will also run at you even though they are indeed missing a leg. It is a glitch, but, you know, all is well. So the really handy thing about this situation is I'm now making a situation where other people can actually survive and be able to run through the gate and not feel completely boned in this situation. So that's what I'm doing. Highlight here. Someone wants to make it through. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, interact with the valve up there.
Max packed. I'm good.
Good to know. So for this,
I'm sealing it.
Miraculously.
That's our target.
How'd I know?
Getting it sealed. Reloading
I'm
here.
gonna crouch. That will make me less of a profile for them to detect me, but it looks like I already got my fans already.
I'll see to the power.
So this objective, you just need to interact a little bit.
I'm reloading.
And it'll
Working
fill
on the
up.
power.
Just get enough to fill up. You're set.
Got a full mag.
Assembly. Put it down here.
Seem to be breakers here.
Yeah, melee is pretty strong. Especially items that are sharp. Even the shovel, the newly added shovel in this game will actually allow you to cut the legs of enemies. You aim for the legs like that. And this was on class difficulty, so everyone's fine. Someone did die, but there you go. And yeah, if you ever see me out in the field, feel free to say hi, hello, feel free to chat. And yeah. So right now it's assembling the parts that we're going to use for the main vehicle, the boat escape. So yeah, we'll be pretty much all good there. So the thing that you could do
I'm on
is
it.
that you could equip it, drop it, chuck
I'm
it
on
a
it.
little further.
Step. See that? Check that out.
Fucking nice job, you guys. Okay, last thing. You gotta get the boat started again.
Got the breakers covered.
Can't move.
Alright, now we're leaving.
Weird house. Somewhere you
Right here.
don't really
Look.
want to live, but so you gotta stop.
Cover on me while I heal.
You got this.
We got a runner. Bingo on ammo. Cover me. Next.
Now, if you don't like this kind of stuff, by the way, you could actually sit on top of this, and as you see, the bar is on, so it's gonna go. That's my fault. I have everything on high settings. You can sit up here. You could also sit over there. That locale. Be all fine. What's up, other people?
Empty. Wow. Watch. Reloading. Bingo. Finished. Fuck. I'm out of ammo.
Rounds dropped off right now.
Nothing left. Out of ammo. Fuck. Gotta reload. Ammo's gone. I'm tapped out. Reloading. Reload. Look here. Gotta reload.
Get on!
Reloading. Step. Step located.
Because everyone needs to be on.
Reloading this.
We're all set.
Thank you.
Another extraction.
Thank you, everybody. I can't believe I made it. We made it. I'll never badmouth Pennsylvania again.
Well, not everybody made it, Waldo. I just lost people. You've got some explaining to do, so once you get here, you sure as shit better keep any comments about Pennsylvania to yourself.
Ooh, what a line. Lore, all the implications are really great. Now, I made this for people who are trying to learn the game or either are getting that point of low frustration are very confused. It's mainly for the confused people, trying to help them bridge that gap. Because I understand how annoying and frustrating that can be. And the resources out there is just not good, just not available out there right now. And that's why I made this particular stream in this video. I hope it aids you. I hope it guides you. I hope it brings some clarity. And of course, if you're out here watching this, then clearly you need this information. Heed it, share it, value it. I like making things that are nice, clean, professional, and actually backing it up with putting my, well, putting my character and my time and my effort on the line. Now, that is the reason why I created it, is to help individuals. Preferably, everyone would go into this blind and learn it and master it, but that's not how the world works. I've lived long enough, I've trained and taught so many people in real life, in my different occupations I've worked, to also playing video games all my life. And I thought that this would be a lovely night, a lovely, nice, shining beacon of hope. Because, as you can see, there's a lot of fun you can have in the game, and I haven't even mentioned every little thing. And you'll likely see more hilarious hijinks and roleplay crazy situations in the future. But this is a great game. It's of lovely quality, and you don't need to be afraid about losing your characters or feeling that you'll never be able to get there. A lot of it is knowledge, and this video will help bridge a lot of lacking knowledge and knowing what exactly what to do and how progression works for you. Again, I hope this has been informational. I hope this has been fantastic. Thank you all for taking the time to tune in. I hope to see you in the field, seeing you in also at my haven on Discord, or either in the comments. I read every single one and I do my best to respond what I can. So again, thank you for the time. If you have any questions, let me know, and see you in the next one. This is JAA_007 signing off. See you in the field next time.